kings and kingdoms, rajas, maharajas, he didn't bother about them. He went and built that. He went to west, set up in Dwarka. In the east, he went to Puri. They were not concerned about the rulers, kings in between. The society was one. When a little later Ramanujacharya moved from here, he went to Kashmir. He went to Kamrup, which is Assam today. Did he bother about which kingdom he was passing through? He didn't. 2,400 years ago, during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, the most powerful ruler of Maurya dynasty, with the capital at Patliputra. His Rajguru, Bhadrabahu, with 12,000 disciples, Shamanas, he marched from Patliputra, came to Mysore, near Sravan Belora, established his mutt there. All the kings of the south patronized him, welcomed him. Bhadrabahu did not care about which was the kingdom he was passing through. From time to time, people from one end have moved to the other and created institutions of unity. We all know that Buddhism in China was taken from India. How? Of course, Buddhism everywhere went from India. Because this is the birth of Buddhism. So how did Buddhism go to China from here? It was a Pallava prince in the early centuries of the first millennia who renounced, like Gautam Buddha, his position to be anointed as a king. He left. He went with his about 1,000 people. He went to Nalanda, studied there. He became Acharya. He was christened as Bodhidharma. He taught there. He came back and he went by sea route to China. And the Chinese ruler embraced him, gave him the place at Shaolin where he built the monastery. We have seen the Shaolin monastery in the film. Those of you who have gone there, you see their writing at the Shaolin monastery gate, how Bodhidharma went from here and he established the monastery. It was when he went from here to Nalanda, he didn't bother about who was the king. It was the philosophy that went from Bharat to China was by a person who went from one end of the India, one end of Bharat to the other, studied and went abroad. "600 years ago, a great saint from Assam, Kamrup, Mahapurush Shankardev, he lived for 119 years. At the age of 30, he came to this land, what today we call Tamil Nadu. He went to Rameshwaram, he studied. It was a great center of learning. He came to Kanchipuram, it was a great center of learning. He studied there also. And then he went back to Kashi. He studied there. And then he went back to Kamrup. And the first poem that he composed was Dhanya Dhanya Bharat Bhumi, in praise of Bharat. Nearly 550 years ago, Guru Nanak Dev came from Punjab, which is today falls in Pakistan, in fact. He came all the way. He came to Rameshwaram. He came to all the places in the country, north to south, east to west. He was inspired by the Bhakti movement, which was initiated here by Alwars and Nayanmars. Nearly 400 years ago, when from Dharmpuram Adhinam, Kumar Gurbar, when he went to Kashi and he set up Kedariswar temple, there he recited Kambar Ramayana, and Tulsidas was so influenced that he composed Tulsi Ramayana. Numerous, there is no end to the stories. To understand Bharat. So, if you understand this country, this nation, and you feel for it, what whatever you do, wherever you are, whichever field you are, in your personal, professional, organizational, whichever capacity you are, do things for your benefit, your prosperity, but keep in mind that what you are doing, it is also going to build the nation. I was told 5 trillion economy. 5 trillion economy might look, by a statistical calculation as if it is by this rate, how to achieve and all that. I know there are technical difficulties it can be. It is well appreciated. But I don't think when we have a dream of 2047 where the India should be, the 5 trillion is enough. This country has been achieving incredible targets in the last few years. We have seen in various fields. Every field which we have chosen, we have crossed the target, we have gone beyond that. This is the strength of our people. Because there has been a fundamental change in the way we look at our nation and the way we look at its destiny. At the national leadership, this change is so manifest. We don't look at this nation as a conglomeration of different people inhabiting different geographies, living together and maybe governed by Constitution of India. Bharat is much older than the Constitution of India. Constitution of India did not create Bharat. British did not create Bharat. In fact, British, when they left, they had left it a highly moth-eaten Bharat with about more than 565 independent countries within it. They never thought that this country would survive. Thanks to the genius and boldness of Britain, that all this territorial integrity was restored, notwithstanding the fact that the part was cut off through partition. Today, the national leadership looks at this country not as a geography, not as a place where different people live, but as a one family. Diversities are variations. There are variations with an underlying unity. The unity which recorded history tells you since the time of Adi Shankaracharya, all through the history. This is a faith. And we have to restore the glory of this faith. Earlier thinking of this being a geography which the British wanted us to believe, it led us loss of territory in POK, loss of territory to China and exciting to China. No longer. Every inch of this land is a part of our being. We cannot say that our little finger is less important. If something happens to it, the whole body suffers. We cannot let that happen. And that is why all the attempt today is to see that the country as a whole progresses. That is why the most crucial things like health, education, infrastructure, absolutely there is no discrimination between which state is governed by which political party. And even because the earlier mode of development was essentially Darwinian. When you had a limited resource, smarter people, they got more resources and they developed, so there was a lot of regional imbalances. South developed, North did not, West developed, East did not. And even in the areas which were developed, there were a lot of sub-regional imbalances. We know in Tamil Nadu itself, which is a very progressive state, you have a lot of areas far behind, even the national average. And that is why, with a comprehensive development, all-inclusive development, the concept of aspirational district came. We too have about 3 districts in Tamil Nadu which are aspirational. Means the districts which are behind, they have to be uplifted. We have about 120 districts in the country which are aspirational, to which special attention is being given, irrespective of which political party is ruling in that state. Those districts have to come up, catch up with the most advanced in the state. We don't look at this country in terms of narrow political interest. We don't look at this country in terms of diversities as differences. We look at the country as a family and diversity as beautiful variations. We are about 300, 200, 300 people sitting here. None. I mean, no two of us are alike. We are all different looking. But essentially, there is something common among all of us that keeps us united. Not only by way of your profession, you are a member of cost management and accounting family, but the fact much deeper than that. This Bharat lives in us, in our heart. It lives us subconsciously. Make it conscious. It lives us in our day-to-day rituals in our houses, which we perform without being conscious of it. Just be conscious of this Bharat. And then you will feel the urge. And with your urge will come the change that will transform the country, that will transform the nation to its destiny. Friends, you are at the end of the 2 days. I don't wish to take you more time. Go back to wherever you are, wherever you came from. Be happy. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Take care of your profession. While doing all these, think in the back of your mind about the nation, about the country, about the Bharat. Thank you very much.